name is Nicole, and welcome to Easy Like Sunday Morning Yoga. We'll do a little bit of a flow, but it's going to be very gentle, very body aware. For my own practice, I use quite a bit of tools. I have them accessible. Today's practice, if you have blocks, or if you don't have blocks, you can use books or anything like that, but I'm going to be using blocks to help support me. And I also will be using a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use a tie or a house coat tie. I don't know. Anyways, I also have a bolster and a pillow just because I'm working through a couple of injuries, so I really want to support my body and try to limit any further damage. And this is Luna, and you'll probably hear my dog Soul. She likes to let everybody walking by know that they're not welcome. So they'll probably be in and out making noise, and hopefully it's not too bothersome. And I hope you will join me. So we're gonna just start seated. I have a pillow underneath me just to really help support myself so I can find a nice comfortable position. We're just going to check in with our breath here. So just notice how you're feeling. And if you have anything that arises, whether it be emotional or physical or mental, just allow it to be. We really want to avoid trying to change anything in any given moment. Part of our self-awareness journey, which is really the whole point of the yoga path, is to come into the state of Purusha, sorry if I can't pronunciate, but that's just a state of awareness, a state of being. Just scan your body from the top of your head down to your toes, noticing how it feels, if there's any areas that are holding any extra tension. How does your breath feel? Is it shallow? Is it deep? Is it easy, steady? Maybe you can't put a label on it, and that's okay too. Just sit with whatever your state of being is at this specific moment. We're going to start to deepen our breath. So as we inhale, allowing the breath to flow through your nostrils, exhaling through your mouth, pulling that navel in towards the spine, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, really contracting through that abdomen, releasing any stale air. One more time. Exhale. And just come back to your natural rhythm. I'm going to take our hands, placing them on the earth, or if they don't quite reach, you can place them on your blocks, or just have your fingertips grazing the earth, whatever works for your body. Really finding that nice stacked position with our chest over our pelvis, our shoulders nice and relaxed down our back, and our neck nice and straight over our shoulders. Tucking the chin slightly. We're going to inhale, pulling the energy from the earth up to our crown. Exhaling through heart center. Bringing them down to the earth again, inhaling up. Exhaling down. One more time. Exhaling down. We're going to take our left hand to our right knee, twisting through to the right side. You can use your right hand to keep your body upright here. Looking maybe over that right shoulder if that's okay in your neck. And just breathing here. Really trying to feel that breath through the abdomen, really almost allowing like a ringing effect to take place. come back to center, twisting to the other side. So right hand on left knee, looking out over that left shoulder if that's okay. Once again, maybe closing your eyes, tuning into our body and really allowing that breath to move through the abdomen. Not that it moves through the abdomen, but we feel the breath as our organs shift and change with our breath. Okay, Luna. And we're going to come back to center. We're going to inhale, hands up overhead, bringing that navel in towards our spine. We're going to hinge at the hips, allowing the hands to come to the earth first. Really want to focus on not overstretching through the lower back here. So if you're only bent slightly here, then that's perfect. So really honoring what your body is telling you. When we get into these really moments where our body is in a state of high stress, whether that's through a stretch or a position that it doesn't like, really just back off a little bit and see if you can breathe into that discomfort. We don't want to push past any sort of edge where we're coming into a place of pain. We're going to take our head and just slowly nod it up and down, continuing to breathe. And coming back to stillness, we're going to walk our hands up. We're going to bring our hands behind us, fingers facing towards our glutes, lifting our chest up towards the sky. If this is okay in your body, you can even lift your hips up off the floor. And we're going to come back up to seated. We're going to come all the way down onto laying. If you have a pillow, you can remove that. And if you're using a strap, have that nice and handy. We're going to keep our knees bent, feet on the earth. We're going to come through some breath work to really warm up that lower spine here. So back is flat on the earth, arms are long against our sides by our hips. And as we inhale, we're going to start to round through that lower back, creating a bit of space. Only going as far as comfortable for you. And then exhale, pushing down into the earth, really contracting through that abdomen. Inhaling, rounding. Exhaling, pushing into the earth. So we're having a tilting, it's a tilting through our pelvis here. And if that feels okay, as we inhale to round, we can lift our arms up overhead. Exhale, bringing them back down. Do this a few more times. Maybe you're noticing there's some tension through the lower back. Just continuing to breathe and focus your energy there. Gently, with just pure awareness. One more breath, wherever you are. And then we're going to bring our soles of our feet together, opening our knees open to the sides. You can turn your palms up towards the sky. We're going to just sit here for a moment, allowing the weight to open up through our hips. And if this is uncomfortable, please apply whatever prop to support your legs here. We're going to just tune into our intention. So as we move through our practice, you're releasing energy, stagnant energy. So whether that be negative emotions or negative just energy we've acquired throughout the day. So the movement will help transmute that, but we really want to make sure that we're allowing positive energy to fill what we're releasing. So it's very beneficial to work with an intention. So for myself, my intention is I am aware of my body, I am aware of my breath. You can use that, or you can use any mantra or affirmation that resonates with you this morning or today. just repeat that mantra, that intention through your mind a couple times as you breathe. We're going to use our hands, allowing our legs to be guided back up to the sky. And then we're going to bring them in towards our chest, giving ourselves a hug, a little bug hug. You can point and flex your toes here, and turn them around in circles. Let's bring some movement to our ankles. Then we're going to release the left foot back down to the earth, extending up through that right foot. I will be using a strap here. Helps me to get into the stretch a little bit more, as I do have very tight hamstrings. I don't want to overcompensate in any other muscle groups here. So I have a strap wrapped around the ball of my foot, holding on with both hands, and I'm really going to be pushing through my heel up towards the sky, bringing the toes down towards my nose, feeling very deep stretch to the back of the calf, into the hamstring. You can keep the knee bent a little bit if that feels better. Breathing here. We'll take the strap into our right hand, wrapping it around. You can open up that right leg out to the side. I really want to make sure that that left hip is staying anchored onto the earth. So you can keep your left knee bent, or you can extend it long. For myself, because I just injured my lower back, again, I'm keeping my knee bent to support that lower back. Continuing to breathe. Let's take one more round of breath wherever you are. So inhale once you're ready. And on the exhale, bringing that leg back up to the sky. We're going to bring that strap into both hands again, and we're going to bend into the knee, bringing the knee towards chest, and then extending up, coming to some hamstring curls. And then taking that strap into your opposite hand, so the left hand for myself. I'm going to straighten that left leg out and then allow that right leg to cross over my body. My right hip will naturally come off the mat here, coming into a deep twist. You can open up that right arm, looking out towards those fingertips. Continuing to breathe. I'm just going to put my socks back on because I'm cold. I'm going to take one more round of breath here. Inhaling through the nose, and on the exhale, allowing that leg to come back up to center. We're going to come into our hamstring curl one more time. So bending and then extending. Do this a few times. And as you're extending that leg out on the last time, we're going to take, your strap is still in your arms. We're going to just start to make some circles, little circles here, as if we're painting a circle on the ceiling. We really want that movement to come from the hips and not from the legs, I guess. We really want to get the mobility through the hips. And then allow that circle to grow. Yeah, so you're not using your arms to move you here. It's really coming through your hips and your leg. And then allow the circle to be as big as you can make it comfortably, safely. And then we'll switch directions, starting with big circles and cycling down to little. And once you've completed your cycle, we're going to use that strap to place the foot on the left thigh. You can remove the strap now. And then bringing that left knee up towards your chest, reaching through to get the back of the thigh. If this is very tight for you, you can once again use the strap and wrapping it around the back of your thigh. You can take that left leg up, once again working through the ankle. And then we're going to bring that leg back down, and we're going to allow that right foot to fall towards the left side of the mat onto the floor, coming into a deep twist, opening up our arms and looking out towards the right side. Once again, really breathing into that abdomen here. Maybe even seeing if you can feel the breath moving through the back body. And then we'll bring that leg back up, removing that top foot and switching the strap out onto the left ball of the foot. Extending that leg up towards the sky, pushing the heel out, flexing the toes towards the nose, really feeling that through the back of the leg. You can take that strap into the left hand and allowing that left leg to open towards the left side. Once again, keeping that right hip on the earth. If you find that it's rolling up a little bit, just bring that leg up a little bit more, even if it means you're holding the strap wherever it's comfortable. We want to focus more on alignment than the depth of any position. It's not how advanced your postures are, it's how they feel in your body, and it changes day to day. Take one more breath here. And on the exhale, bringing that leg back up. We're going to come into some hamstring curls, so holding the strap in both hands, bending into the knee, and then pushing up into the strap to straighten. I'm going to do that 3 or 4 times. Using your breath to guide the movement. If you're new to yoga, one of the most important things that we want to focus on is the breath, because it really helps to bring in fresh energy. So we're going to now take the strap into our opposite hand. So for me, it's my right hand. I'm going to extend that right leg long and cross the body with that left leg. Coming to open up my left arm and looking out towards those fingertips. Breathing here. The breath is also a major factor in allowing our bodies to relax, especially in these days that we find ourselves in. We are more or less always in a state of fight or flight. Our sympathetic nervous system is on high alert pretty much all the time at the moment. So when we use our breath to slow ourselves down, we're actually getting ourselves into a parasympathetic state, which then lowers the hormones that the sympathetic nervous system releases. One more breath here. Exhale, bring that leg back up. Holding on to both straps again. We're going to bend into the knee and then push it out. Do this a couple times. And then we're going to take that strap, still holding it with both hands, and we're going to just allow ourselves to make little circles, really feeling that connection for our core. You might find one side is more movable than the other. That's okay. It's actually very normal. And then allow the circles to grow, eventually becoming large. And then circling the other direction. Oh, no, stop. If you hear me call out or yelp out, my cat likes to bite when I don't feed her, and I think she's on the hunt for some food right now. And once you've done that full cycle, we will allow that leg, that foot to find the right thigh, and then allowing ourselves to reach behind that right thigh, coming into a reverse figure four. Oh no, go away. Once again, you can straighten that right leg up towards the sky, moving through the ankle. And we'll bring that right foot back down to the earth and come into a twist by bringing that left foot to the earth, but opening up our arms and looking towards the left side. If this is too much in your hips, you can stack the knees on top of each other too, coming into a twist. And then inhale, coming back up to center. Once again, we're going to bring the knees into our center, maybe bringing our chin up towards our knees, giving ourselves a nice little hug here. And if this feels good, you can begin to rock along the spine, getting some momentum. Come up to a seated position, or you can just come up to a seated position if that's better. From here, we're going to keep the legs extended out straight. We really want to find a nice tight core here. So engaging through our core. Inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, folding, hinging at the hips. Allowing the shoulders to be away from your ears. So if you're not getting very deep, that's okay. This is also quite acceptable, and it depends on your body. You can keep your knees bent here. Inhale, coming back up to a seated posture. We're going to turn ourselves so we're facing the long edge of our mat, keeping that right knee on like a 90 degree in front of you. Hopefully you can see this. And then your left leg at a 90 on parallel to the short edge of the mat. So we're going to just do a little bit of hip strengthening here. So you can use your hands behind you to help keep you upright. Trying not to lean too far to the side, though it can be easy to do. So we're going to just start by bringing that left foot, heel off the mat. You're going to feel it most likely through your outer hip here. And if that's okay, you're feeling strong there, you can bring that knee up. We're going to hold it for 3, 2, 1, and then exhale, rounding that leg forward. Inhale in here, and then bringing it back. Setting you back into that position. We're going to do that again. So you can start by just bringing the foot off or the knee. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, and then forward with that leg. Coming back to the neutral position, we're going to do it one more time. So lifting, finding your position, 3, 2, 1, rounding forward. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So your left leg is at a 90 in front of you, right is on the side. Bringing that right foot up, maybe the knee, 3, 2, 1, rounding forward. Coming back to neutral, starting again. Finding your position, 3, 2, 1, rounding forward. One more time. 3, 2, 1, rounding forward. From here, we'll just come into our cobbler position. So our soles of our feet are together, sitting up nice and straight. We're gonna just do a little bit of working through our pelvis here. So just little circles. We're gonna inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Allowing the movement to grow if that feels right. If you're finding any tension anywhere, you can even stay and massage it, kind of moving around that area using our breath. And we'll switch directions, but continuing to inhale forward, exhale back. And then we'll bring our knees back up to center, and we're going to come back onto our mats facing the front. We're going to come into our table. So your hips are stacked over our knees, our hands are stacked into our shoulders. We're going to inhale, rounding through the spine, tucking the chin in towards the chest. Exhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the head, the chin last. Inhale to round. Exhale, drop. Inhale, round. Exhale, drop. A few more times. If this feels good, you can start to move through this a little bit faster, finding your own rhythm, honoring what your body is asking of you, whether that's slow or warmer. And coming back to neutral spine, we're going to walk the toes over to the right edge of the mat, turning to look at the toes. I'm going to inhale here, so we're creating a really nice feeling of opening through that left side body. You even take that left shoulder and start to move it towards that right front corner. And if that feels good, you can even take that left hand and walk it towards that corner. Working really into this fascia line. Breathing here. And we'll come back to neutral. We're going to come to the other side. So looking out towards the toes, guiding that right shoulder towards the corner of the mat, and then maybe walking your fingertips out there. Coming back to center. We're going to come into our first downwards facing dog here, but before we get there, I'm going to get you to tuck your toes here, lifting your knees just slightly off the mat. You really want to feel that engagement through our core, so bringing the navel towards our spine. Inhaling here. And then pushing the hips up towards the sky, coming to your downwards facing dog. So we really don't want all of the weight in the hands or all in the feet. We really want to find nice balance between all 4 points of contact. You can begin to walk the dog by dropping one knee and then the other. Coming back to stillness. You can stay in this variation of downwards facing dog if you want to come into a deeper twist. We're going to take that left hand, so shifting our weight slightly to the right side, and then reaching back to the right ankle, looking underneath your armpit, breathing here. One more breath, and then bring it back to center. Walk the dog here a little bit, and then we'll switch our weight slightly to the left side, taking that right hand, reaching back for the ankle. Breathing here. And you can place that back in your neutral position. We're going to look forward, allowing ourselves to flow out to high plank, holding it here for a moment. If you need to, you can come to your knees. Really having your shoulders engaged here, core engaged, glutes legs, everything should be fired up right now. Drop to your knees for this first lowering of our, I'm not going to call it chaturanga, but our lowering push-up. And then lower our upper body to the earth. And then we're going to come to our first cobra. So we'll take our forearms to the earth, coming into just a little back bend here, just nice and gentle for the first round. From here, I like to kind of move with my neck. So inhaling, nodding it slowly up and down. Looking over each shoulder. From here, we'll push ourselves back up, coming to a child's posture. So your hips are reaching out toward over your feet. You can have your knees wide here. If you really need some support, you can take a pillow underneath you and straddle with the pillow. And the variations for your arms is completely what's comfortable. So you can have them long in front of you like I do, or you can reach them towards your feet, or I even like it sometimes to bring them in underneath me. So whatever works for you, try different variations and explore. Just come to your breath. Maybe bring that intention back into your mind. I'll take one more breath here. And then we'll come back up to our tabletop. If you have socks on, be a good time to remove them because we're going to come into some standing postures and balance. So from here, we'll push ourselves back up to downward facing dog. Looking forward, we'll slowly walk our toes to meet our fingers. Exhaling, coming into a nice deep forward bend. You can keep your knees as richly bent as you need to here. Maybe even grasping onto opposite elbows, finding a little bit of movement. And inhale, slowly roll ourselves up. Slowly, we are coming to our first standing position. So we really want to give our body a moment to acclimatize to the different pressure. Standing in our mountain, so our legs are active, you're pushing your feet into the floor, palms are facing forward, arms nice and relaxed at your side, eyes soft or closed, coming to your breath. One more time, bring that intention back into your mind. And then we'll inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, folding at the hips, coming back into our forward fold. The inhale, straightening through our legs, coming to our halfway lift. You can have your hands on your shins or touching the floor. This might be a good time to grab your brakes if you're planning on using them. Exhale, richly folding. The inhale, rise up. You can take a little back bend if that feels good. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to step back with that right foot. Coming to our warrior one, so that back foot is on a 45-degree angle. Front foot is nice and anchored into the earth. You want to feel all points of contact on the foot. I like to call them tripods. So you have your toe, your big toe, little toe, and your heel. So making sure all 3 points are connected. With our warrior one, we want to allow our sternum to face forward and our hips might naturally follow. But if not, we don't want to torque them. We don't want to cause any further damage. We really want to support our hip health. Inhale, you can bring your arms up alongside your ears or out in cactus or even at heart center, whatever works in your upper body today. We're going to stay here for a moment, really allowing our body to feel into this posture, using your breath here. I'm going to do one more full breath wherever you are. On your exhale, roll around the arms out to parallel the earth. You can keep your foot where it is on the 45, or you can open it up to 90. Really allowing the shoulders to settle. We don't want them up towards our ears. Coming back to our breath. I always find this is a good time to play with our shoulder mobility, so rotating through our arms, really exploring the full range of motion through our shoulder complex. I'm going to drop that back hand lightly against the back leg, lifting that top arm up, extending overhead. Don't have to go very deep here. Once again, checking in the shoulders are down away from your ears. Exhale, coming forward. You can place that front forearm on the front knee, extending that right arm over top. You really want to make sure you're not placing your weight here. So even try lifting that arm off your thigh, and if you can hold yourself comfortably, then you know that you're engaging through your core. If you really want to work on more core strength, you can bring that bottom arm up as if you're holding a big ball here, continuing to breathe. We're going to come back up to our warrior two, so arms extended. We're going to straighten that front leg, coming into our triangle. So we want to allow our upper body to move forward, tracking forward, reaching down to a block or the floor, and maybe lifting that top arm up. Maybe looking at the fingers, but it's not necessary. You can even keep that top arm on your lower back. You really want to feel that this hip is almost having a lifting sensation. We'll be here for a few breaths. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling either through the nose, or if you're going to breathe through your mouth, really allow yourself to make a sound. Do one more breath here, so inhaling, exhaling, we'll bring that top arm down, we'll bring both hands to either side of that front foot, turn on the back toes so that now they're facing forward. You can shorten the distance between the legs here. I like to use props here because it really helps me to support me, especially through my lower back. We're going to come to our pyramid posture. Once again, checking in with your feet. Are all 3 points of contact anchored into the earth? Maybe noticing in your body if you're feeling any areas that are speaking to you. And take one more breath here. Exhale, we're going to bend into that front knee, coming up on the back toes. If you're using your blocks, you can walk them forward a little bit. We're going to come to our warrior three. So once you found really nice grounded sensation through that front leg, that front knee still bent, to protect our leg until we're into position. You can lift those back legs off, engaging through our glute and our core, lengthening, straightening through that front leg. And keep your hands on the earth or your block, or if your availability, you can bring them up into your warrior three. Really want to check that your hips aren't opening, like mine was naturally starting to do that. So we really want, if that means your leg is a little bit lower, but we're having the actual hips being aligned here, that's better. And we'll bend that knee and bring that foot to meet the front foot. Exhaling to your forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll step back now with that left foot, coming to 45 degrees on the back foot. Nice grounded sensation through that front foot, and bringing your arms into whatever position feels good for your warrior one. Inhaling here. Let's take one more breath here. Exhale, opening the arms wide. Again, you can work through the mobility in the shoulder. Checking in that that front leg is still bent and that you can see your middle toe. Kind of want the knee to almost be tracking towards that middle toe here. I'm going to drop that back arm lightly against the back leg, inhaling that right arm up, exalting our warrior. Inhale, we'll come to our extended side angle, so placing that front forearm on the front leg, reaching up with the left arm. Once again, checking in that we are engaging through our core. We're not dropping all of our weight onto that front leg. Inhale, coming back to our warrior two. We're going to strain through that front leg, tilting forward, tracking forward, bringing that hand on the inside of that foot onto the floor, onto a brick. And maybe extending the left arm up, whatever feels right in your body. We're going to bring that arm forward. Framing that front foot, turning on the back toes so they're both facing forward. We're going to lift that back heel up, bending into that front knee. And as we feel nice and grounded through that leg, we can lean forward, lifting that back leg up, coming to our warrior three. Coming into whatever variation here as well. Really focusing on your own body alignment, your own safety. And inhale, we'll bring that front foot forward. Exhaling to forward fold. From here, we're going to just allow our feet to widen to the, maybe just shy of the width of our mat. And we're going to come into our mala. So bending into a really deep squat here. If you have any issues with your legs or your knees and this doesn't feel great, you can take a block or a pillow and sit on here to really still get the benefits of the posture, but not taking the stress up on our body. You can take your hands into prayer position if that feels right for you. Wherever you are, just come into your breath. Once again, maybe bring that intention back into your awareness. Lean slightly forward, placing our hands on the earth. We're going to push up through our hips, coming back to a deep forward fold, but our wide stance. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold. Come into your forward fold. We're going to place our hands on the earth. We'll step back into high plank. Just going to do a little bit of core work so you can come to your plank, high plank, knees, or if you have wrist pain, you can come into a plank with your forearms. Wherever you are, we're going to come into some mountain climbers. So we'll start by bringing the right knee towards the right elbow, left to left. We do this a few times. Really use our breath to move us. And exhale as you bring the knee to the elbow. Two more. And then we'll come up into a downwards dog, or if you're on your forearms, you can come into a dolphin. Maybe walking your feet in. And coming onto your knees and folding back into our child's. Breathing here for a moment. And then we'll allow ourselves to come to a seated posture, our hero's posture, coming into our breath. And then we'll allow our legs to unwind. Coming back into our seated forward fold, so legs straight in front of you, toes towards your nose, nice tight core. Inhaling, on your exhale, folding and hinging at the hips, coming to maybe grab your toes, maybe not. Wherever you are, it's perfectly perfect. Maybe imperfectly perfect, probably more likely. Inhale, come back to seated. Then I open up I'm going to turn this way. Open up the left leg on a diagonal, bending into that right leg. I do have a knee issue, so I'm going to support that knee so it's not putting too much pressure on it. And we're going to bring oh my gosh, my words. Your forearm on the inside of your leg. You can also use a block to bring the floor up to you. Opening up our right shoulder towards the sky and bring that right arm over top. Inhaling here, maybe even looking under the elbow. Inhale, coming back up to center. We're going to take a slight rotation. So once again, the left hand to the right knee, looking out over that shoulder. Taking one inhale here. Exhaling, rotating towards that foot. We're going to allow our body to just fold over that leg now. Maybe reaching the toes, maybe not. Breathing here. And then we'll come back up to center. Extend the right leg on a diagonal. Once again, you can support your knee, you can bring a block. Wherever you are, we'll bring that forearm onto the earth or onto the block, allowing that left shoulder to open up and bringing that left arm over top. Inhaling here. Inhale, rising up, bringing the right hand to the left knee, inhaling here. Exhaling, rotating towards that extended leg and folding forward. Sitting up nice and straight. We're going to remove the blocks if you have them. extending both legs out. Once again, really engaging through our core, reaching up nice and tall, inhaling, and then exhaling, hinging at the hips, allowing our lower back to feel nice and loose here. If you feel any restrictions, then just back off a little bit. It's really not about the depth. It's really allowing the breath to move through those areas. And I have chronic lower back pain, so some days I'm here, some days you can go a little bit lower, but you just honor whatever you're feeling in the moment. Come back up to straight. We'll allow our bodies to make a way down to the ground. If you have a block or a pillow, we're going to come into a supported bridge. We're not going to come into any deep inversions, but this is still, our body will still recognize this as an inversion. So I'm going to use my block. I'm going to bring my knees close to my glutes here. When I'm ready, I'll push through my legs, lifting my hips up, and I'll place that block under that sacral area. There's 3 different heights under your brick, so you can take a deeper opening that feels good. And like, if you don't have a block, you can use a pillow, even bunch a pillow up. We really want to allow our body to rest here. So I'm actually going to come to the lower height because my body, lower back is a little bit cranky. Wherever you are, just come into your breath. Stay here in this stillness for a few rounds of breath. Even if you are wanting to move into shoulder stand or another inversion, you can do so, but just give yourself a few moments of stillness here. Really allowing the breath to move through the abdomen, pushing, getting that balloon breath. Maybe even placing your hands on your belly for feedback. And if it's for you, you can come into a deeper inversion, whatever is within your practice. That shoulder stand or maybe wheel. It's a good time to do that. Otherwise, we'll just stay in our supported bridge here. If you find your mind is wandering, just bring it back using your intention, or maybe even just coming back to count your breaths. No judgment when our mind wanders. The act of meditation, of mindfulness, is not to stop our mind from thinking, because that's impossible, but it's just allowing ourselves the space to be gentle when it does wander. Just bringing it back. Even if you have to do it continually, it's a practice. Wherever you are, we'll take a few more, maybe 2 more full breaths. And then once you finish your second breath, we'll slowly lift our hips off the block or the pillow, removing that, and then allow each vertebrae to meet the earth one at a time. Slowly, slowly. We'll allow our legs to fall open. Come into our reclined cobbler. Breathing here for a moment. And if there's any other movement that you're being called to take at this point, maybe a happy baby would feel nice. So bringing your feet up into the air, grasping onto the soles of the feet, taking what other movement you are feeling at this point. And once you've completed that, make your way into your final pose, which is your Shavasana, your corpse pose. Whether you need to put on some socks or a sweater, please do so. Maybe taking a blanket, applying that over top of you. I'm going to play a little bit of some frequency for you. Just guide you into a deeper state of meditation. Only be here for a few moments, so really allow yourself this time to allow the work that you just accomplished to integrate into our bodies. Maybe bringing that awareness of your intention back into your mind space. If you find that your mind is wandering, just keep repeating it for a few moments. Just allowing your breath to be natural here. There's nothing to do, nothing to change. Just allow yourself to be. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Now you can begin to bring some movement back into your fingers and your toes. Allow the movement to grow, widen, but stay slow and purposeful. When you're ready, you can come over onto a little ball on your right side, trying to keep your eyes closed for as long as you're able. Sitting in this moment that you've created. I always like to finish the practice with an act of or a thought of gratitude. So maybe bringing something into mind, it can be anything that you're grateful for in this moment. Offering it thanks. And when you're ready, you can allow yourself to come to a seated posture. Close the practice. I want to thank you for joining me today. It's just a short little Sunday morning class, but I hope that you enjoyed it and that you follow me, subscribe, and join me as I introduce more classes and availability coming forward. So we'll take one more breath here. So inhaling, hands open along our side. Exhale, hands to our center. And we'll actually bring our hands to the earth, folding forward, thanking Mother Earth, Gaia, for everything she provides us, for all the love and abundance. Without her, we are nothing.
Namaste.
Thank you.